Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. John Owen talks about sports and movies. Thank you for checking out today's video. I always appreciate the support. Let's get into it. So as we know, there are a lot of superheroes over in Marvel and DC and even other companies like that, and everyone has to have their favorite. So today we're counting down my favorite superheroes of all time. Remember guys, it's just an opinion. I'm not ranking whether these guys are better than one another, just my personal favorites and why and all that good stuff. With all that being said, make sure you comment down your favorite superheroes of all time and what you think of my personal list. With all that being said, let's get into the video. Robin was always my favorite character off of Teen Titans and everything like that, and I've really enjoyed playing with Nightwing on the Arkham series, and I really like the Titans TV show where we see Dick go from Robin to Nightwing and everything like that. But basically, Nightwing is my favorite out of the Bat family sidekicks. I really like Red Hood and Tim Drake and Batgirl and all that stuff, but he's definitely my favorite, I think. I love his design, I love his look, I love his batons, and I think I just really like his demeanor. Okay, coming in at number 11, we got my favorite X-Men character. Now, Wolverine. Obviously, Wolverine is a super stable in the superhero world. Super popularized by Hugh Jackman's great portrayal of the character. He's definitely the star of the X-Men movies. Logan is a fantastic movie. I think Wolverine is just super cool. Just the claws and the healing factor and the attitude and everything like that. All that together, that's just like a really enjoyable character. Maybe not always likable, but super enjoyable for sure. When they do eventually cast someone for Wolverine in the MCU, I talked about this in an X-Men wishlist video one time, which I'll link right here. But I really want Anthony Starr to play him, and if he doesn't, Charlie Hunnam. But I'm sure Marvel will find someone who can play at least close to as good as Hugh Jackman. Okay, Conking in the top 10, we got Rocket. So Rocket is my favorite Guardian. I have always thought he is just super funny. I really like his sense of humor and the way he's written and everything like that, and the way he doesn't back down from anybody. He'll talk to he'll give like the sarcasm right back to Tony or Thor, or, like whoever. And I like how he was one of the Guardians, him and Nebula, that survived the snap in Endgame like that. The thing with Bucky in his arm is absolutely hilarious. I wish we got another scene like that in Endgame. That would have been really funny. But I just think that Rocket is super funny, but when he does get emotionally vulnerable, it's actually super good. And I love his relationship with Groot. So coming in at number 10, we got Rocket. Okay, number 9, we got Aquaman. So I think that Aquaman is actually really cool. I think they've done a really good job with portraying him as cooler. Jason Momoa kills it as Aquaman. Yeah, it's not comic accurate per se, but it's still super cool. I love the Aquaman movie, and I love using Aquaman in Injustice 2. Aquaman's honestly one of my mains in that game. Okay, coming in at number 8, we got The Flash. Honestly, if the CW show was better after if the CW Flash show didn't just completely fall off after season 3, I think Flash would be way higher. I used to be obsessed with that show. I love Grant Gustin as Barry Allen, Reverse Flash, and Gorilla Grodd. I think they're super cool villains, and they're definitely my favorite 2 Flash villains. They definitely have to be up there for my favorite just villains, period. But I used to love the show, but now, I don't even watch it because it just got so bad. But that's a story for another time. But I mean, the Flash is just super cool and honestly super OP. He's so cool, and honestly, super speed is probably the most practical and most useful real life superpower. And again, a lot of these, I'm gonna keep saying this a lot for these DC characters, but I love using Flash in Injustice 2. I think the Flash is just super cool, but he would be higher if the mediums that he's in that I've consumed were a little better. Because I really don't like Ezra Miller's Flash. I don't know, that's not me, but basically, I would love the Flash more if the show was better. Okay, next summer we got one of the most iconic superheroes of all time, definitely in the top 3 with Superman and SpiderMan, Batman. Obviously, there's been a lot of film adaptations of Batman and stuff like that, but I think Batman just works for being super realistic and everything like that. I think all the gadgets and him being so smart and being kind of broody is really, really cool and just super awesome. Um, I think what gets Batman higher up for me is kind of the mythos around him. Basically, all his side characters. I'm as emotionally invested in his side characters as I am him, his villains as I am in him. Batman's probably got the best rogues gallery of all time, pretty easily. Hell, one of the Bat family members was on this list earlier. Batman's got a lot of super iconic villains, and he's got a lot of great games. Lego Batman, one of my favorite games of all time. The Arkham games have been super, super, super fun. I'm playing through Night right now, but it's been super fun. I love those games. And I think Batman is just like the most realistic superhero, and that's on this list, at least, that's something I could definitely connect with. But coming in at number 6, we got Superman. I just love that Superman is like this embodiment of hope, and that's something I really identify with because I like to be a hopeful person. The Boy Scout demeanor may rub people the wrong way sometimes, but honestly, I love it. I love Injustice Superman, and I think a lot of this comes from the fact that I just love Henry Cavill as Superman so much that I love that casting so much that it's boosted it maybe a little bit. Superman would obviously still be on this list, but maybe not as high if I just didn't absolutely love and adore Henry Cavill. But everyone's like, oh, Superman's boring because he's OP. He's not boring. Superman is super compelling. If you watch Man of Steel, watching him, that's a great origin story and everything like that. And I feel like I'm kind of basing these off of one adaptations, but I don't really read comics, so that's just me. It's my list. That's all right. But basically, I really, really love Superman. Okay, cracking in our top 5 is Steve Rogers. I'm glad I have to make that Captain America distinction, by the way. Just watching Steve's journey through the MCU has been absolutely amazing. I think Captain America: The First Avenger is just a really, really wholesome movie. And then him in Avengers, The Man Out of Time. But he's still kind of like this gleam, like this kind of innocent glow kind of. And then Winter Soldier, one of the best superhero movies of all time. He just, oh God, that strike suit, amazing, beautiful. That was a little side note, and then watching him in Winter Soldier and going from black and white to kind of a gray view in Age of Ultron where him and Tony have their disagreements, and it's graying even more. And then in Civil War when him and Tony have his fallout, and then in Infinity War when he's on the run, and then in Endgame when they go on the time heist and all that, and he lifts Mjolnir and he goes back in time with Peggy. Just that entire arc is just wonderful and beautiful and awesome. Steve Rogers has been a staple of the MCU, and it's going to be weird not seeing him going forward. Okay, coming in number 4, my favorite DC character, Wonder Woman. I think the main thing that I really like about Wonder Woman is basically what she stands for. She's her themes are just about hope and inspiration and compassion and everything like that. Obviously, I love and adore the Wonder Woman No Man's Land scene. I really, really liked her in Snyder Cut and all that good stuff. I'm not even going to talk about Wonder Woman 84. I do not want to think or talk about that abomination. But I just think Wonder Woman is it's not even the fact that she's attractive. That's just the cherry on top. Super, super attractive. But, just like I said, her themes and what she stands for about hope and compassion and just being inspirational. You watch the Wonder Woman, you feel inspired to go do good in the world. And I think that's where I fell in love with Wonder Woman, and I've continued to fall more in love with her to the point where now she's my favorite DC character. Okay, coming in at number 3, we got Iron Man. Obviously, this comes from the MCU. Just Tony's arc in that movie is just and the MCU is just absolutely immaculate. I mean, probably one of the best character arcs of all time, if not the best character arc of all time. I cried so hard when I watched his death scene. I still tear up and cry, just a little bit each time I watch Endgame. Not that I watch Endgame all the time. I have to emotionally prepare for that movie. But as I've grown older, I've loved Tony Stark because of his arc. But when I was little, man, the suits is where it was at. I mean, Tony has always had super, super awesome suits. My personal favorite suit of all time, his Infinity War suit. Personally, that's my favorite That's my favorite like superhero costume of all time. It was just beautiful, beautiful. And of course, you got Hulkbuster and all his other suits. So basically, I love Tony now because of his art, and I loved Tony back then because of the suits. Okay, coming in at number 2, we got the most iconic Marvel superhero, Spider-Man. So Spider-Man has definitely had a lot of different adaptations. I really, really enjoy all 3 live-action Spider-Man for their pros and cons. Spider-Verse is a great movie. Spider-Man PS4 is a great game. I think I really like Spider-Man because he's like a younger hero, and like, I'm younger and stuff like that. So I was like, man, like I can identify with that, like struggling with trying to balance, like I balance a lot of things in my life. Obviously, it's not fighting crime and having a job and like keep up with the girlfriend, but I can get with the themes of responsibility and all that good stuff. And I think kind of with Batman, another thing that elevates Spider-Man for me is his elite rogues gallery. And Spider-Man has a whole has like entire comic book runs where he's going up against an iconic team up of his villains. Not very many people can say that, I don't think. The Sinister Six. Nah, I'm just gonna name drop it. But the fact that Spider-Man has obviously we've seen villains team up to get with superheroes, but like when your rogues gallery is so iconic that they have a team name, that's pretty good. I just love Spider-Man so much. Spider-Man has been one of my favorites for a long time. For our real reveal number 1, let's do some honorable mentions. So my honorable mentions are Firestorm, basically anyone off the Teen Titans team, Invincible, Sam Wilson, Bucky Barnes, Wanda, and Cyclops. But coming in at number 1, this was pretty easy for me, was Thor. I think Thor is everything that I love about movie characters. He's funny, he's powerful, he's got a great arc, he's super cool, he's got great powers. All that good stuff, he's all wrapped into one. And I really fell in love with Thor. Thor became probably my favorite superhero after Infinity War, but I started to fall in love with Thor in Ragnarok. And basically his 3-movie arc from Ragnarok to Infinity War to Endgame is my favorite movie arc of all time. That's why on my MCU watch order, I have those 3 concurrent, back to back to back. I know that's not the release order or anything like that, but best viewing order in my mind for me personally. I love it because I love to watch Thor's complete arc over the course of those 3 movies. It's my favorite arc of all time, at least on the movie side. I think it's probably right up there. It's like tied with Zuko's arc and Avatar: The Last Airbender, which if you've heard me ever talk about that, I absolutely love Zuko, but that's a discussion for another time. But back to Thor. Basically, he's just everything I love about those other characters, all rolled into one. So thank you for watching today's video. I always appreciate the support. Make sure you leave your favorite superheroes down below. Like, comment, and subscribe. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.